Hey guys, welcome to the Last Set podcast, and today joining me is Igor Martins, BJJ brown belt and instructor at Bravos BJJ, and recently just took home a double gold in the WA state titles in the 94 kilogram and in the absolute division. So we've been reaching out, we've been talking recently, and then obviously we decided we were going to do this today, and also he brought his girlfriend Eboni with it, so hopefully we're going to make this blend and all that. So let's get this started, man. I mean, you've had a very successful past couple of months.
Yes.
Smashing out SGT and then taking home the state titles. How do you feel, man?
Yeah, it feels good. Like for so long, 10 years training for like to have a good result. So yeah, that's what you do the best. Just training hard and that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's it like for you as a partner watching him compete?
It's amazing. I love watching him compete just because seeing him do something that he's so passionate about is just unlike anything. It's really cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Because the thing is, my my family, whenever they watch me compete, as well as my girlfriend, they always say it gives them like anxiety and all that. Like watching a loved one compete on the fight on the mat, it's hard. I get it. It's hard because you've been doing this for how long? Did you say 10 years now?
Almost 10 years, yeah.
So
January.
How did you start then?
Actually, I started for fight at school.
Really?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Did
you win?
Just normal like teenager. When I started was 15 years old, and then just like just need to learn something to defend myself at school, you know. And then it's usually to change my mind. It's like how we're gonna do. Like when I started, I used to see my old coach in Brazil. He used to go like in my suburb, like going up and down with his gi and blah blah. And I was like, oh my god, I want to be like this guy. And then that was pretty cool. And then I just joined. I remember that a friend of mine, he used to do it. Then I was like, no, yeah, let's go. I want to go in. But the problem is I was 15 years old. My mom was like, no, you're not going to do this, you know, because like it's you're going to go there at school and then try to beat everyone up. I don't want you doing martial arts. And then I was like, no, I'm going to do it. And then when I went there, I started to compete already. Like I think I was 3 months already in jiu-jitsu. I was like, Mom, I want to compete. And it's like, I'm not going to support you for now. And then, yeah, I think with time, she just saw that I was really passionate about it. And then she started to accept that I love jiu-jitsu, you know? So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So whereabouts are you originally from then?
I'm from South Brazil.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, normally when you see everyone from Brazil, it's like Rio, São Paulo. Yeah, I'm the black chip. Yeah.
So when did you originally come out to Australia then?
So when I started jiu-jitsu, I was like, I never thought that about coming to another country to fight or anything. Because when you are in Brazil, it's really hard to dream with these things. Like, oh my God, they're going to, like most of the guys, when they are good, they're going to go to US and things. But I never thought that I was gonna come here. And then I remember that I was in the army when I was 18 in Brazil.
Wow.
And then I got a medal in there that's pretty like distinguished guy and everything. And then some sergeant in the army, he said to me like, you need to find something better. You need to go to French for Legion. And then the French for Legion.
You were in the French for Legion.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah.
fucking shit.
For
That's
6
awesome.
months. Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was 19 years
19
old.
at the time. So if you don't mind me asking, because I don't know much about Brazil and culture, was it public service you were doing, or did you go to the army by choice?
Actually, in these days, like if you want to stay in the army, they can stay with you. Otherwise, if you said no, I don't want to go in the army, you don't go. You don't need it. You don't have to. You know.
Oh, okay.
But when I went there, I was like, maybe I can represent the army in jiu-jitsu or something like that.
Is that a thing?
No, it was just in my mind. You know, I was like,
because some armies have that. They have Like American,
Yes.
they had their own boxing team, they had their wrestling team.
the wrestling as well.
Australia has their own BJJ team, believe it or not. So
that's
the
cool.
army, yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, so you were 18 in the army,
Yeah, in Brazil.
and you'd been already training for how many years before you went into there?
About 3-4 years.
3-4 years.
Yeah.
So when you were in the army, did you was it easy for you to go through like combat training and then because you're already quite
Yeah.
skilled?
Yeah. Everyone actually, even the sergeants, like, let's organize a fight for you inside the army. They're like, no, I can't fight outside the jiu-jitsu, outside the mats, and then they're just like joking. But every time, like with my friends, we used to like do like little rolls. I was like, let's see if jiu-jitsu works, and that's always everyone's gonna tell this, when you are like with a lot of boys and everything. And I said, let's see if jiu-jitsu works.
Nice.
And then, all right, come in. And then it was just, but that was pretty cool. Like, I think I learned a lot in the army, I learned a lot of things.
Like, okay,
Mentally, how to be by myself, and especially mentally, like you have someone screaming on your side, and then you need to deal with that with pressure. I think that's why I have a good mind in my jiu-jitsu, When I'm going to fight, I want to stay by myself. I don't want to talk too much. I want to just stay with me,
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you went to the French Foreign Legion when you were 19, like what was the difference between that and being in the army in Brazil?
These days, there's not too much difference,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so there wasn't no like big step up in like
Yeah,
intensity or training
no.
or anything like that?
Because actually what I want is like go to do like some missions outside the army, like go to Lebanon, go to, I don't know, Mali. That's the mission that they do in Africa.
Oh, okay.
So I had this big dream. I was like, no, I'm going to go. Everyone, like you used to say for me, even my parents as well, I was like, no, you're not going to go. You're going to go by yourself. You are crazy going to this thing. Because when you see like in the media, like Friend for Legions, like Jesus Christ, it's just guys that used to rob. These guys that are always the police want to catch them, and then they go there to hide the police. In these days, it's not like that anymore.
Yeah, because I remember the story of a guy. I remember everybody telling me about the French Foreign Legion that they originally came from like robbers and criminals, and then they had a choice: you either go to jail or we send you to the
you
army
can go there
to go to fight. And then there was a massive battle. I can't remember what it was called, but they all said, "Look, you have to fight to the last man." And then they did, and all that, because they were like, "No one's coming for you. No one's going to save you."
Yeah.
So that was like one of their famous stories. And I remember, what was it? You ever heard of Bear Grylls from like Man vs. Wild and all that?
Yes.
so
I've seen that.
So there was like a time when Bear Grylls like did his own like Bear Grylls joins the French Foreign Legion. So they had him like running up everything, do all these like massive hikes, like all the things that they would do.
Yeah.
In the French Foreign Legion. So.
But that when the TV comes in, when I was there, the French TV was there when I joined.
Yeah.
Like because they were doing like an interview with everyone that was in there, They used to have the video on YouTube, but they delayed. But I have the screenshots when I appeared. Like that's pretty good.
Nice.
But I saw this. A friend of mine told me that when Bear Grylls was there, it was like it was all how can I say, fake.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
For sure.
It was like, you think that he's doing the old training, it's just they cut the scenes, and then
So it's just the best bits.
yeah,
and then
just the best bits, and then oh my god, you think that he's the hero,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you came to Australia?
Was 21.
22?
21, I think. 20, yeah.
Yeah. And
I was turning 22. Yeah.
and how old are you now?
25.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
far off. I'm only 23 and all that. So I
Yeah.
was gonna say you couldn't have been much older than me,
Yeah.
but that's still pretty impressive, Lo. So, did you come out here on your own, or did you come out here with your family?
I can't tell. Anyway, so I decided to come here actually because when I went to Friend for Legion, I had the opportunity to come back because I had money in there in entrainment.
Oh.
So I couldn't stay there anymore, But they said after 9 years, if you want to come back, you can come in. And then I was just like, nah, I can't stay here like without work for 9 months, you know. So and then I just decided to come back to Brazil. And then, yeah, with time, I'm just trying to find another place because Brazil in these days, it's pretty hard to, you know, to live.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. Whereabouts, like, where you from? Like, was it like a dangerous place, or was it just not that?
No, comparing to Rio and São Paulo, no, it's not that dangerous. You know, it's still dangerous. Like if you go outside, let's say 1 a.m. in the morning, yeah, you can't.
Can't do that.
Nah.
Fair enough.
It's pretty risky.
Fair enough. So when you came here, how did you stumble across Bravos then?
Oh, that's a that's
a
the
good
best.
story.
That's
Okay,
the
all
best story. So, before I came to Perth, I was trying to find always like the guys that I was gonna fight in here, you know. And then I saw some guys, and then bang, there was a guy that was world champion in a blue belt. That was Louis.
Oh,
With Ryan.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh my God, he's a world champion. Maybe we're going to fight him at some time. And then, so yeah, I came here, and then, what was the question? Now I'm lost.
Yeah, sorry,
lost
how'd
because
you
I
come
thought,
across- that's okay. How did you come across Bravos?
yeah.
So
And then I fight against Louis in a competition. Like I was maybe 5 months here. And then Rodrigo was there as well. He's my coach. And then just for against Louis, there was a big war. Actually, I pull guard on him, and then he opened my guard. But I had always a little tricky for big boys. So if you are listening this podcast, don't mount on me. And then then Louis was so strong, man. He's so strong. And then he passed my guard, and I remember there was like, okay, get a mount on me. And then he got a mount, and then I foot lock him from my mouth. You know, and that's a little trick that I have. And then that was tense. That day was pretty tense because I broke his foot. Yeah, I broke his ankle.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's why. And then,
Especially in a competition.
in the
they're
competition.
common. In a way. They're common, aren't they?
It is common, but
not great.
this thing that I do is like you don't expect that it's gonna come, and then so I did. And then I remember that the other day I was like, maybe I need to like message Rodrigo. You know, Rodrigo is my head coach from Bravos. And then I'm maybe gonna message him to say sorry for what happened. And then Rodrigo like saw the message at the time, and then I was like, oh my God, he already saw the message. And then it's like, give me your number. And then, yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then I give my number to him. And then he was like, yeah, so you jiu-jitsu. So thanks for sending me this message, you know. And then what happened, he asked me to come to Bravos to have a meeting with him. And then I was like, oh my God, this guy and Louis is going to be there, and they're going to try to kill me. And then he just asked me like, you know, I saw your jiu-jitsu. I saw that I have a potential. And then if you want to join with us, so we're going to have opportunity for you here. So, and that's what I did. Just hug the opportunity, you know.
All that from breaking his leg.
Louis, sorry.
Well, that's a very interesting way to go, because I gotta get hats off to him as well, because when someone obviously is breaking someone's leg, they're not really going to be in your best books for a while and all that. But the fact that he invited you after that as well, that showed that he saw something in you.
So yeah, in these days, me and Louis like we are best friends at the gym. You know?
Yeah, I see that. I see that as well at competitions as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's like the vibe that I have. It's amazing, you know. But the first day that I went there, and then he was there, was so awkward. I was like, "Hey, bro, how is your foot?" It's like because I didn't have anything else to say, you know. It was like, how's your foot? Yeah, that's fine, man. Yeah, let's go. Let's jump in.
Awesome. So So Ebony, how long did you say you started training for now?
Oh, about a week.
About a week.
Yeah.
A weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
Brandon.
My little white belt.
Yeah, little white belt.
What's it like though? Like having a partner, you know, at that level, and you in boyfriend mode, or you're in
Oh,
instructor
this
mode.
is-
Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
no games. We
Good
train now.
question.
Yeah. So we had a deal. So she can't train with me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rule only because it's like you don't want to mix your relationship. I
Yeah.
know the head coach and his missus, they don't mix.
Yeah,
their
they don't mix as
relationship,
well. So I like to help, you know. Like she really wants to learn. But yeah, step by step.
Yeah, baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps.
how did you two meet?
Hey, that was a good story.
That's a good story, huh?
So I met on Tinder.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yes, we met on Tinder.
Yeah.
that's sweet though, because I mean, well, believe it or not, with this way in our generation, it's going like, it's rare to meet someone or
It is.
be
It
with
is.
He
someone.
was actually the first guy
Oh,
that
here
I
we
went
go.
on a date with. I
Okay.
was so hesitant, and then he was very persistent, so I gave it a chance, and then I was like, I like this
That's
guy.
pretty
so
good.
that's pretty good. Hey, yeah.
And how long you two guys been together for now?
It's 1 year.
1 year. Oh,
Yeah.
just coming up 1 year.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 1 year.
Awesome.
1 year and a bit.
So it's like, what was it like trying to get her into BJJ? Did you go voluntarily or?
Yeah, I was asking him for a long time because I was so excited. Like I knew I was meeting everyone from Bravos, and I loved the vibe there. So I was like, oh, I really want to try. And it took him a while. I think he was a bit hesitant, being like, you know, you're fragile, don't hurt yourself. So,
Yeah, but this deal that I have, she can train.
which I
only-
like.
She can train only with Rodrigo.
Yeah,
she can
I
train
like
with
that
me.
as well.
Yeah.
I train in the Joondalup gym, so I've got my separate time, which I really like that.
Yeah.
And Rodrigo's an amazing coach, so yeah, it's really good.
Oh, cool. And did you ever do any kind of martial arts before this? Nah, so it was the first time.
This
So what was
is-
it like
yeah.
then, the first lesson for you?
So nervous. I was so nervous. I mean, look, I had a bit of an idea watching and, you know, being at the competitions and all of that. But, yeah, I was so nervous, especially like even the warm-ups. I was like, what is going on? But it's really good.
Nice, nice. And what about you? Like, did you ever do any other kind of martial arts while you were doing BJJ or was it?
Nah.
Yeah.
I hate punching my face, man. I
I
can't.
feel ya.
I can't.
I feel like that's that's one of the reasons why a lot of people actually take BJJ seriously or at least get involved in it is because it doesn't involve strikes to the face intentionally. I say that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you know you're going to cop a fucking elbow or a knee to the
Elbow,
face.
knees, even your one knee, doing guard, you knee yourself.
Yeah, didn't you get whacked in the nose or something you told me about in SCT?
yeah.
So
SCT.
what happened was that?
Let me remember. It's so many injuries that like I don't even.
He goes into
So
like
what happened
mode.
that night?
He doesn't even.
I can't remember.
Yeah, no.
I think it was a crossface or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That someone gave it to me at the gym.
Mm.
The little cuddle, you know. And then it was like, oh my god, man. But that was pretty bad.
Okay.
That was pretty bad.
So what was the worst injury you say you've had then?
The last one.
Really? The worst one?
No. Sorry. Say
So
again.
what was the worst injury you say you had?
The worst one. When I broke my arm. When I was white belt.
Really?
Yeah, I broke my humerus here.
Holy shit.
And then that was pretty bad. The doctor said to me like, you need to stay 6 months, like without move your arm.
Mm.
And then I stayed 2 months without move my arm. Always here, but all the classes I was there to watch, all the classes every single day. You know, when it was white belt.
Wow.
I was like, no, I need to stay. I need to watch. I can't lose one class. And then I remember that it's 2 months. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Boom. I used to do like my belt, and then I put my hand like inside the belt and just fighting with one arm. And my coach, you are crazy. Don't do this. And I was like, no, let me fight, please. I just want to fight. Just want to roll. Just want to have fun. And then, yeah, that's it.
How did you break it in the first place? Was it like not tapping to an armbar or was it?
No, it was actually an accident. I was in a single leg in a big dude from my gym, from my old gym. And then I did single leg on him. And then he jumped on my back. and then just lay on my arm, and then he jumped on top of my arm, and then he just clack. Fuck. Yeah.
That's crazy because I hear a lot of injuries in BJJ come from falling weight.
Yeah.
That's what I learned, because it's not tapping or not tapping too, but it's when guys go for like a flying triangle or a flying armbar.
Yeah.
That are the risks that's actually involved in such a move. That's what
Yeah.
really leads to injury
Yeah.
as well, is because if they'll teach you how to do the move, but they'll never teach you how to fall with the move,
Exactly.
because it's it's not something you want to be involved in the first place.
And that's why it's super important you understand the warm-up.
Yeah.
You know? Some people, like, they just ignore the warm-up when they are doing, you know.
Anyone above a blue belt, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes,
collectively
exactly.
like a thing now. Anyone
Exactly.
who's above a blue belt has a right to miss a warm-up and all that.
Yes, and it's not just only the warm-up that they miss. It's the basics, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, like, when I fight jiu-jitsu, I try to do my basics really perfect, you know. I try to don't miss, like, any kind of little steps that I do, you know. I try to do always perfect. Of course, it is hard. When the level comes up, you need to really understand how to do the counter of the counter, you know. But when you start jiu-jitsu and you do the basics right, so you're going to have a really, really good jiu-jitsu, like, for the other belts, you know.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Like, there's a few things, like we argue in the jiu-jitsu world and all that. But personally, for someone such as yourself who's been doing this for like 10 years now, like, what do you believe, where do you believe that jiu-jitsu is going right now in terms of like gi or no gi? Do you believe that the idea that there is a massive exodus right now to no gi because, one, you know, gis are expensive,
Yeah.
and people believe it's more practical?
Yeah. I think, no-gi is getting really, really popular now. Unfortunately. No, I like no-gi as well. I love no-gi. But I think, man, what I would say for you, I think both are really, how can I say, both are really good. I love both. Like, I have a goal now to do the World Championship, you know. Like, for me, that's what I'm having focus now. I don't know, like, too many things about, like, fighting in no-gi. I know that has a lot of money in there, like, if you want to fight in the US, you know. But yeah, I don't have too much focus in no-gi now. I don't. Yeah.
Okay, so like, what's your typical weekly schedule? Like, how many like gi sessions do you do, or do you do like a casual no gi session, or
Every day.
every day?
Yeah.
Well, we're talking 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, not every day. I mean,
You're not
like
in, she agrees.
Monday to Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, like, walk me through like what's like a schedule for like you. Do you have a 9 to 5 as well, or?
Actually, I really, really would like to train more. You know, I really can't train more because I'm always busy, like, teaching. You know, so I try always to train in my classes when I'm gonna teach, and then I try to train together. But the problem is when I do this, I leave a little bit my students. You know, when I'm seeing their rolls, so I can't see when they roll, and then sometimes I feel like, oh my god, I need to watch them. You know, even to don't get injured or something like that. But yeah, I do around 7 or 6 hours of jiu-jitsu a day. Wow. Yeah. Of course, coaching and training.
Far out. So
Yeah.
you've made a living off it now, just coaching and all that.
Yeah. If I put more 1 hour of study as well that I do every day, 1 hour studying.
Well, and how do you study?
Just study online.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, as in like you doing an online course, or?
No, I study jiu-jitsu
Oh,
positions.
sorry.
Yeah,
I was like, when you said study, I was like, oh, you're studying for something and all that. Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that's pretty impressive though. Like,
Yeah.
has it always been like that, or where did you hit like
No.
a point in your career in your life where you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is I'm gonna get there?
Actually, I was working in another place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was working like at the gym and then in another place. That was pretty good as well. Pretty good work, like good boss and everything. But I think when you talk about dream, is that thing that you can't stop dreaming about. You can't it's always in your mind, and that's what I always dream. It's like, no, I want to be a coach. I want to train jiu-jitsu for all my life, and that's what I did. What was pretty hard because everyone around me, of course, not people from Bravos, like friends and something, they used to say like, you need to stay in your job. You need to because here, of course, really hard to get the visa to stay, But I really trust in my jiu-jitsu. I really trust that jiu-jitsu is going to give me like a lot of opportunities in the future, and that's what I want for my life. I think I need to follow this dream that I have, and that's what I'm doing now. Yeah. I decided to just train jiu-jitsu and coaching, so that's what I really want.
I actually got to give hats off to that because I feel like these days, a lot of people live lives of quiet desperation. Let's say, for example, they want to do one thing, but that thing's not getting them money or it's not giving anything that they need in the moment. So they'll try and stick to what it is that they're doing right now. Yeah. It's like I say, for example, I tell people with this podcast, it's a lot like jiu-jitsu. To get a black belt, it takes what you could say 10 years at least. For someone to actually even make money off a podcast, it takes years and years and years.
Yeah, it's the same with you. I make money with jiu-jitsu because I'm a coach, But if it's I just want to be an athlete, no, you can't make money.
Yeah. Well, why do you think that is? There's no money right now, or at least a lack of money in BJJ.
Look, that's a good question.
Yeah,
that's a good question. I have a lot of guys now trying to negotiate with me, like brands, some guys that organize some kind of events as well. And then, the hardest part it is that they don't put money, and that's the hardest part because that's my job, I prefer staying doing 10 PTs, 10 private classes at Bravos, and then I'm going to stay there, get my money, I'm going to be helping my students. That's what I love. That's what I do. Then stay, I can train 5 hours of my day just for myself. And then I'm going to try to compete a competition that I don't even know if I'm going to win. And I won't receive anything. Sometimes I need to pay for that,
Yeah.
And that's pretty hard because sometimes people that contract you, they don't think about this, They just oh my God, yeah, let's do a favor to him to just give some gi or just give some clothes to him or just give some the product, And that's pretty hard. It's pretty hard you live to be an athlete, And that's what I'm going to do now. I have this little tour that I'm going to do.
Okay.
So I did.
I'm guessing you're coming with as well?
Which one, next month?
Some of them.
I think my goal is to go to Worlds with you.
She's taking along for the ride.
Yeah.
You can go.
So I had this little tour now, because I need to pay for the price, right? So I did SGT, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do states. Okay, after states, I'm gonna do nationals now next month.
Okay, so where is nationals gonna be?
It's gonna be in Melbourne.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do nationals. That's fine. I'm gonna do pump packs, and then if AGP tour is gonna be in Sydney as well, so I'm gonna go to AGP tour maybe in Feb or January. I don't know yet. They don't say the dates. And then Worlds in June next year.
Wow! So that's what you've got mapped out now.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do.
Wow!
And that's why I say to you that I would like to train more because I'm training, I'm drilling, I'm studying, but I know that for Worlds I need to be complete in everything. I know that I need to train more. I know that what I need to do. It's just now the time is pretty short.
Oh, wow. Well, with all that, all that studying, competing, training and all that, how do you guys make time for each other?
We live together, so
yeah.
We make time. We do things together, but I support him and I love being there for him. And obviously I'm doing jiu-jitsu now, so we've got that to talk about, but we always make time for each other.
Yeah.
Does it change your perspective at all about it? When you're because I've always believed when you see something from an outside perspective, you're always like, oh, they're just doing fighting or whatever. But when you actually do the thing as well, your perspective towards it like changes. Like, oh, so this is what it's like and all that. Yeah.
Ah, this is good. That's why he loves it so much.
Yeah.
I think jiu-jitsu, you have this good environment, you know. I think jiu-jitsu is not only gonna go fight and then that's it. I think the people that brings you, like, you're gonna have people around you that never wants to see you like crying, never wants to see you bad in a bad mood, you know. So people are gonna be always elevating you. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's why she really wanted to do it as well. That's why, like, okay, if you really want to do it, so you can do it.
The environment's so amazing. Everyone's so supportive and just so kind, and it is a really good environment. So yeah, I wanted to be a part of that. So.
Yeah. So when you guys are like that's really good, because I got to give credit to Bravos as well, because at States there was so many of you guys and so many of you won. Yeah, and I wish
we got five double gold.
Yeah, I think ABJWA put out like the most points for club. I think Bravos won that, and then it was like by 200 or something like that.
I think it'd be more.
I think definitely, that's what I mean. Definitely more. Yeah. And I was the only one there representing my gym in the adults, you know.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I wish that, because being part of the UFC gym, like, even though again we're not an actual fight gym, we have little bits of everything. But I always go out of the way to do these competitions. One, obviously, because there's a lot of benefit from competing, but two, just to prove that, you know, hey, we actually are not as bad as you think we are.
Yeah.
You know, that too.
Yeah.
So that's that. But for someone who's competed as much as you have, or that, like, what advice would you give to someone who's like dead set competing for the first time?
So when I came from Brazil, like before that, of course, when I was competing in Brazil, I was like the only guy, because I used to train in a filial. I didn't train like in the biggest gym. And then sometimes I used to go by myself to competitions as well, like in my state. I was like, man, why I'm doing this, you know? But I think that I have the same feeling. Like, no, I need to prove it to my friends that this is possible. Doesn't matter what, doesn't matter which gym we have, doesn't matter where we are stepping, doesn't matter where we train. So we can do what we trust, you know? And I always trust in myself, always trust in my coach, my friends as well from the gym. And that's what I did, you know? Like, no, let's go, guys. And then, unfortunately, the gym that I was, when I left, like, everyone, I think, disappeared from the gym as well. Didn't want to train anymore. And then COVID as well, like, broke up everything.
Yeah. What did you do during, like, COVID and all that? Were you, because obviously when the gym shut, you know, you couldn't do anything, you couldn't go outside. Like, what did you do to train?
Yeah. So I used to train with my friends in a garage. Like, pretty bad. But anyway, we're like, man, we just need to train. You can't stop training, you know? So yeah, we did that. Then I was working like in this place that I told you. So I could work in that place. So that's why just staying there.
What about you? How did you guys like survive through COVID and all that? Did you have to like, okay, we've got to stay in one house, or did you stay separately? Or
I think a little bit. I can't remember now.
We met in the first lockdown, and then we spent the first lockdown together.
Yeah.
That was
okay, so that's like the deal breaker.
Like
3 days together, like
he acts like No, but that was like a make or break, really. And then we spent a week together when we had COVID. Yeah, we were going crazy because we was like stuck. But I mean, what are you gonna do? It's like the rest of the world, really.
Kind of feels like everyone's just forgotten about it now, right? Because everyone feels like everyone's moved on.
Yeah, everyone's had like. Have you had COVID? Yeah. Okay.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like? Because I have not got it.
Really?
I've dodged it.
Do you know what? I just had I've got the flu now, and that was worse than COVID. COVID was like 2 days,
as well.
and then we were fine. I think he got it a few days after me, and he was like, no, you got it first, but then you got it, and it hit you hard. So, but
Yeah.
It was fun. It was just a flu.
I'm the only one who's like dodged it so far. Like the whole.
It'll come.
Yeah, I got a feeling it's coming and all that, but I can
Yeah.
feel it. I've got a feeling when it does come, like, oh no,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm so far behind everyone. Like I've dodged it up to this point.
You're gonna get it, and everyone's gonna be like, "Really? That's like so flat."
Exactly.
That's forever ago. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that everyone's like moved on from it and all that, because I would from the gym owners that I've spoken to, black belts who run their own gym, like this year was a hard year for everyone,
For everyone.
and
Yeah.
now that it's still even harder. It's still even harder, and they argue that it was even harder this year than it was last year and all that, because with all the situations with the vaccine debates and blah blah blah, people trying to leave the country, people trying to come in, it's not great. Anyway, pardon me.
It's good though because it's starting to go back to normal as well. Like people are traveling overseas, especially in Europe, and it just feels like the world is slowly going back to normal, which is really good.
Yeah. All right, that was the last one. Anyway, as I was saying, there's one thing I actually wanted to ask you, because it's quite common these days in BJJ to be people debating like the validity of stripes and all that and the belts. Like, what's your stance on it? Do you believe that stripes are a true reflection of progression, or do you just believe that it's something?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. I think I really like our system at Bravos. You know that you need to do the stripe exam.
Oh, there's a stripe exam.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about this.
So we have all the positions that you need to do. Like, of course, the first stripe is going to be 30 positions. You know, maybe the second one's going to be, I think, 40 or something, and then of course with more positions. So when I did my exam for my brown belt, I had to do 270 positions.
Jesus.
Yeah. Looks like a lot, but when you like start to separate the things, like the positions, like, okay, I'm gonna do 6 positions from full guard, and then 6 positions from open guard, 6 positions from de la riva, you know. So if you start to break down the positions, it's like easy. But I really think that's amazing. You know, that's what is gonna make you progress, because I know people that they are in jiu-jitsu, like they got purple belt, blue belt, and they don't even know where jiu-jitsu come from, you know. And in my gym in Brazil, we had to study as well the story about jiu-jitsu, and you need to do self-defense as well for the exam, you know. I think that's super, super, super important, you know.
No,
like,
I don't think any other gym though in Perth would do something like that though.
Yeah. And that's the tradition that we need to keep in jiu-jitsu, you know. Like sometimes you're gonna know, you think that you know jiu-jitsu, and then someone's gonna attack you in the street, and then you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna use berimbolo now. No, you won't use berimbolo. You won't use your lapel, you know. And people don't even know how to fight. Of course, you're not gonna use jiu-jitsu outside, but if you need it, you need to be ready, you know. I think that is super important. You understand self-defense. You understand where jiu-jitsu come from. You need to understand who is Bochecha, you know. You need to understand who is Grace family. You need to understand who is Elio Gracie, you know. I think that's the spirit of the martial art in jiu-jitsu, you know.
Me personally, like, I feel like if you really do enjoy it that much, you would have an interest to know about where it came from.
100%.
And
100%.
What you're talking about just shows that people's interest. Some people do it for reasons that are obviously like, you know, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
For internal reasons, by all that. But if you actually like enjoyed it that much, you would go out and research it. For me personally, I mean, obviously I do it for listening to podcasts. Have you ever read the book Breathe, Ricks and Gracie's Breathe?
I've heard his podcast, but I didn't listen to it.
Man, his book is insane because
I'd like to buy it. Yeah, I need to buy it.
You can just get it on Audible and all that.
Yeah,
so that's what I listen to, because Rickson talks it in his own voice and all that as well. So he's telling his own story. But he was telling me about he talks a lot about his past, like with Vale Judo fights.
Vale Tudo, yeah.
Now, because obviously Brazilians, you speak Portuguese.
Yes.
Vale Tudo is Portuguese, meaning no holds barred. Did I get that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's the translation.
Yeah, the translation.
Yeah. And then he...
Like everything is allowed.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the thing though. Like, the biggest misconception I had was like I always believed like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was like some private, art, and it was just run by the Gracie family. And if you wanted to learn it, you had to be part of that clan and all that. And then I realized the history behind it was like fights on the beach.
Yeah.
And like
everywhere. Like starting in Rio as well, man. It's like crazy. Like people from other martial arts used to come to their gym, and then they're like, let's see if it works. And then, okay, calm down.
This may sound a bit strange to us as well, but because we just mentioned that about other martial arts, but have you ever been in a situation in a gym where... Okay.
No, not a... no, actually once in Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah, a big dude. Like he used to train like just weights at the gym. And then he used to go like in our gym just to watch and then talk with because he was like not friend of my coach. He was like just a, and then he went there. I was like, let's try jiu-jitsu. Let's see what is this. But like, he didn't trust their works,
Mm-hmm.
And then my coach said to me, because I always was the little one at the gym, I was like 64 kilos when I started. And I was like, then my coach said to him, okay, I'm going to put Igor first with you. And then it was like, I destroyed this guy, big guy. And then he was like, wow, man. And then he's training yet. Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. But you compete at 94 now?
94, man. Look these arms, I'm big. Yeah.
Now, like, outside of jiu-jitsu, do you ever do any like weight training? Do you ever do any strength conditioning?
I try much as I can.
Yeah.
I try to stay. Of course, now I had SGT and then states.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to have like a little break now, because otherwise my body's gonna break down. So this week I just took it off of training. So I came back on Thursday, and then I trained on Thursday, Friday, and then today as well. Just a little bit, not nothing crazy. But next week we're gonna go full strength again.
Okay.
Just need to have this week a little bit off of no weights, nothing, and then after you can, because otherwise your body, you just get sick.
It's the worst. It's the worst thing.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I always believe like people when it comes to classes as well, they always say, "Oh, just roll light, just roll light." I'm like, I don't believe in people who ever roll light. Nah, that's the one thing I learned, especially because I'm still at the white belt stage. I don't think anyone really rolls light. I just don't believe I had the most white belts even have the skills at that level to be rolling light. Yeah.
Because I really think that you learn like in a purple belt. How to that's how I roll like light. We call soltinho in Portuguese, like the flow roll,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the next thing I wanted to like ask you was it's pretty debatable nowadays, because in jiu-jitsu, leg locks and knee bars and foot locks or something that hasn't been around for quite long and all that.
Yeah.
So what's your stance on that and where it should be taught amongst the belt systems? I've had some guys tell me you shouldn't be really doing any kind of leg locks or foot locks until you're at least a blue belt. I've heard some people tell me especially shouldn't be doing any toe holds and knee bars to at least purple.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's not really part of the basics. So what's your stance on that?
I think when you are white belt, let's talk about first the white belt. When you get the full stripe in a white belt, you need to be allowed already to be tapping the blue belt. You need to be allowed already to know how to do wrist locks. Position that everyone ignores, and I get everyone because nobody uses. And I love it, because everyone ignores like, wrist lock doesn't work. It's always there. Like when someone control your gi, the wrist lock is going to be there. Just look to his hand and then you can get the hand, And that's what I do at the gym, because I'm one of the higher belts at the gym. So that's what I do. If you have full stripe in your white belt, I'm going to wrist lock you. If you are purple belt and then you are you have full stripe in your purple belt. It's just leg locks, you know. Thing that I learned how to do it, and I still didn't know how to do like a good leg lock, because I'm fresh brown belt. Like I have 1 year and a bit of the brown belt, you know. But I always trying to improve this. And then I remember when I got my brown belt, Rodrigo always used to put me in positions that he go for the leg lock, you know. And then it was like, it's another game. If you don't understand how to do it, so if you have 4 stripes in your white belt, train how to do wrist locks, train how to defend a wrist lock. Tap. Don't try to be a hero on wrist locks because you're gonna make a wrist. And it's the same for foot locks. Straight foot lock is fine, like in a white belt. I think that is not that dangerous, you know. You know when your foot's gonna break. But toe hold, knee locks, heel hooks as well. Like when you are a purple belt, 4 stripe, brown belt, you need to understand like the mechanics, you know. I think not just, I'm going to understand this position. No, understand the concept on the position. You know, that's what I really like about jiu-jitsu. When I study jiu-jitsu, I don't study like, do you see that position? You know, I study all the concept over one position, you know. What my opponent can do, what I can do if my opponent do another thing, another reaction. You know, that's what I like. That's why when I'm rolling and when I'm competing, I always going to have an answer for everything. I always going to try to have an answer for everything, you know. It doesn't matter what.
How do you study, by the way? Do you just watch tape or do you have like those what is like those?
I have a platform that I study that's AOJ. That's the gym like for Rafael Mendes and Guilherme Mendes. I'm big fan of their jiu-jitsu. No, they are.
What makes it so special?
I think the results, of course, that they had in the past, you know, and they always creating new positions. That's what I like. And the positions that they put, is sweet with my game, you know, like how they do a good guard pass, understanding because they are light. I'm light as well, you know. So I really put myself in that situation. Like, no, I need to understand this concept, and that's what I like when they are teaching as well. They explain not only the position, they're going to understand all concept over one position. You know, they really like to study one position for whole class, and that's what I like.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So the next thing I got to ask, obviously, is a personal question and all that, and since obviously Eboni, you're also a white belt as well, just recently training. What's advice that's you would give? This is actually a 2-part question. What advice do you give to a white belt, you know, who wants to progress to blue belt? And what do you believe is the things they should have like on a checklist?
Yeah.
Like if you don't mind me asking, does Bravos has an exam to get to blue belt?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I think the exam, you're really going to understand how to do that position, you know, because you're going to be in front of me or Rodrigo, and then you're going to be applying the exam on you. So you need to be ready. You know, if you're not ready, if you can't deal with that, simple, you're not going to get a belt, you know. So you need to go there and deserve a belt. It's not just, it's just time, you know.
Yeah.
That's what most of the gym they do. They're like, sometimes they have 300 students and they don't even know, the coach don't even know who is that guy. And then he's like giving a blue belt to him. I was like, doesn't make sense, you know. So, and you have the amount of the classes that you need to do as well to get your blue belt, to get your first stripe in a white belt. What's the question again?
Sorry, like what criteria? Yeah,
I talk a lot.
and that's cool. Like what?
Yeah.
It was 2-part question. Like, what advice would you give to someone who wants to go to blue, and what are the criteria they should know?
I think the most important one, and that we don't do, we know because I'm always the white belts. They don't have like the frequency to come to the class, you know, because sometimes they're gonna be like they're gonna go one day, and then the other day, today is raining. Today is cold. We call Miguel, like excuse, you know. Like if you really, really want to get good, if you really have someone, you look to someone like at the competition, you're like, fuck, I want to be like that guy. But that guy, he's training a lot. He's training hard, you know. He's going to go always to the gym. He's going to do weights. He's going to train a lot. He's going to study jiu-jitsu. He's going to breathe jiu-jitsu, you know. that's what I do because I really want to be the best, you know. And if you want to be the best, you need to do this. You need to show up at the gym. You need to train. You need to breathe jiu-jitsu, you know. People going to say to you as well, you can't compete if you are a coach, you know. Don't tell me this. I can't compete.
Really?
You
They
know?
say that?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
do they?
people's going to say because it's like, oh my God, you are too busy at the gym teaching and blah, blah. Man, you can do it, you know. Because you are teaching, the same time that you are teaching, you are learning as well, you know. I think when I got my brown belt, I think I improved like 50% of my game just because I was teaching, you know. Maybe some question that your student have, you're going to be like, that's a good question, you know. Sometimes you ask yourself, like, what should I do at that stage? And then you need to have the answer. If you don't have the answer,
well, you can't just say, I don't know if it was a legit situation.
Yeah, you're going to, I don't know the answer, you know. And it's like, nah, you can't do this in front of your student, you know. So you always need to have like, what should I do in this position? And like, no, you should do this, you should do that, you know. But yeah, if you really want to get good, if you really want to like be the best on your state or in your country, I think you need to show up in the class and then head down and just train.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've always said that like we put a lot of things, again, we've also spoken about time, but we put a lot of things into time. Like you need to do more than just do it for 2 years. You need to actually make sure that the quality of the time spending on it is important. Definitely. So that's why I believe competing is such a big thing. And then the best thing about Perth,
the most important thing.
Yeah, the best thing about Perth is that we actually have an abundance of competitions. I didn't actually know that just until last year and when I actually first started competing as well. But
actually don't have many competitions.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had, not this year though, as many.
Yeah.
But that because I just realized we only had one big SGT and we've had a few cancel because of COVID sucks. But
no, we do have it. But like if you put today, like his move comp, in the other course, they are fighting every weekend, you know? And like here we are, okay, so we have SGT and we have states.
Yeah.
You know? And then now we're going to have the Nogi states. We're going to have another competitions in Nogi. And then like, it's fine. It is good. It's better than nothing, you know? But yeah, I think you have some stage that you're going to be like, oh my God, I need to compete more, you know? I think when you compete, your jiu-jitsu is going to improve like 100% more quicker, you know?
I've always believed like if you do a competition, that's like a month's training in a day because you do the best thing about SGT is round robin in 6 matches. Yeah. 6 matches against 6 different guys. So what you may believe is going to work on one person, it's not going to work on the other person.
Exactly.
So you're going to have to adjust your game. But the one thing I just didn't like is just like knockout tournaments. I don't think I could stick to those at white belt because, you know, what may work against one person will maybe not work against the other. But that person may not be the best guy on the day. And the other thing is they say is sometimes it's a luck of the draw. I
think in the lower belts, like let's say what I'm gonna say for you in a white belt, is just prepare yourself for the highest belts. You know, like for your blue, for your purple, and then everything is gonna be like even for me, like I'm preparing myself for the black belt. You know, I don't want to be in a black belt and then someone's gonna look at me and like, hey, this guy's not a black belt. You know, that's the worst thing. It's the same thing now. If you're gonna get a blue belt soon, you're gonna feel like you need to feel that you are a blue belt, you know. You're not going to feel 100%. You're not going to feel like, oh, my God, I'm a blue belt now, you know. But you need to train for that. You know, I think you need to, like, go to the competitions. You're going to improve. Like, you come back from the competition. You're going to fix your mistakes. The things that it's rare to see people doing, you know. And that's what we do at the gym. So this week is all revision of the mistakes at the competition of everyone, you know. Awesome. And that's what I did as well. So I got called this competition in a deep half. Like all week I was like, okay, start the raw, start in a deep half.
Awesome.
You know, so that's what you need to do to improve and then.
Okay. So final question, so just before we clear this up, because we've spoken a lot about competing, do you believe there should be a minimal amount of time, like, or obviously there should be, but what do you believe the best minimal amount of time it is before training in BJJ before you start competing?
1 week. Nah, I'm joking.
Okay, let's go. There's any competitions we can sign her up.
I would have no idea what I was doing.
You're gonna compete in the first one. Actually, depend, man. Like I think.
Depends on the person as well.
Yeah, depends
like
a lot of the person.
Yeah.
Depends again if you're showing up, if you're training, and
Yeah, because I have guys at the gym that they do 2 classes, 3 classes a day, and then I have guys that they do 2 a week. You know, so the progress is not going to be the same of them. You know, so these guys that maybe train 2 or 3 times a week, yes, you can compete in like let's say 3 months. That's what I did. My first competition was 3 months training like crazy. Let me go, coach. Let me go, and it was like. Bang. 1 minute of fight, the guy choked me out. And it's like, yes, I like that. Let me do it again.
Cool. All right, guys. So that is game. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. And if you want to follow Igor, where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Instagram, Igor Martins BJJ. Yeah.
And also, guys, if you want to follow Bravos Instagram handle will be in the link in the description, and it's located in Joondalup as well.
So we have a gym in Joondalup, and then we have another one in O'Connor.
Oh, so there's 2.
Yes, we have 2 gyms now.
Okay, so which one came first?
In O'Connor.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the main one, and then you have in Joondalup now. They reopened in December.
Oh.
Yeah, so I teach at both gyms. So yeah.
Oh wow, so you're driving back and forth between
Yeah,
2.
back and forwards, man. Always like Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday I'm in the south, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Friday I'm in the north.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you truly are dedicated to it, man. And look, all the best. Good luck at Worlds. Good luck at Nationals.
Yeah,
and,
let's go.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for listening. And that is
Thank you
game.
so much.